look at the anterior compartment of the arm, specifically forearm right here, and you'll notice right away that we're going to see, right, all the muscles on that front side. These are all flexors. So that should help you at least with part of the naming of these muscles here. So this one goes from the medial epicondyle of your humerus all the way to the radius, which is the bone on the thumb side. So, it's going to have flexor in the name. It's going to have radius in its name. This one right here is a flexor carpi radialis. The one next to it then, right here, and it's slightly medial, right? Again, thumb side is always lateral because of anatomical positioning. So this is the radius, right? And this is a flexor carpi radialis. The next one that's medial to it is a palmaris longus muscle. And then as we go a little bit to the most medial part right here, that's your flexor carpi ulnaris muscle. Now again, all these muscles we can actually see when we flex them a little bit. You can see the tendons sometimes much better. So let's take a look right here a little bit deeper. And as we go a little deeper, then you see the muscle that kind of goes down and around. It doesn't go all the way to your fingers or the radius. So the main purpose of this muscle, it comes from that medial epicondyle, and it allows us to pronate our hands and our wrist and our forearms as well. This is your pronator teres right here. Then, medial to that is a big muscle that goes all the way down here, and then it helps, and it goes to all these tendons. This is your flexor digitorum superficialis right here. As we go a little bit deeper there as well, we're going to see, because we have a superficialis, you should see muscles that are deep. This is your flexor digitorum profundus. So if you see a superficialis, you should see a profundus. Profound, profundus, deep. If you see a minor, you should see a major, right? So if we go a little bit lower, then we see this muscle. Let me see if we can see it a little bit better on this view. Yeah, you can see it over here. I think we have to see it on a posterior view, which is a quadratus, which is your supinator muscle, but I do not think we see it at all on this view. So let's take a look at view on the posterior arm, and we'll start with the posterior forearm right here. On the posterior forearm, again, remember, anterior are all flexors, so posterior are all extensors. One thing you do notice is a very thick band of tendons right at where the actual wrist goes in, right? Those carpal bones, right? These are our extensor retinaculum. And then we can see muscle that kind of goes from the top part right here, right? This is your brachioradialis. And then you see the extensor radialis longus. And then we'll see a brevis coming up in a second. And this should be the brevis right here. Let me see if we can see the brevis. I can't really see the really good brevis on this one. I can just see the longus. Maybe in a deeper view you can see it. This right here is your flexor digitorum muscles. Excuse me, it's extensor digitorum muscles. Right here, extensor digitorum muscle. And then your extensor digiti minimi. So the weird thing is we have one little pinky finger and we have a very big muscle that goes right to it. So this is a pinky muscle that allows you to extend your pinky when you are drinking tea, right? You always watch those shows when they kind of discuss that. That's your extensor digiti minimi right here. Take a look how big that is. It's pretty big. So as we go a little bit deeper yet, you can see a little bit more of your muscles that help move the thumb, right? Abductor, pollicis longus, and then your extensor, pollicis brevis. So the A muscles, abductor, is before the E muscles, right? A before E in the alphabet. So abductor, pollicis longus goes to your thumb. The thumb is called the pollex. And then extensor, pollicis brevis. You do have an extensor pollicis longus, but the only thing we see of it is this real long tendon. The rest of the muscle is way deep up here, and it's not on a word list. And you can kind of see that muscle coming down over here. So we do see the muscle, just not well. That's why it's not on our word list at all. So those are the muscles you need to know for your forearm. And over here you can see the the supinator muscle that I was mentioning in the other video. So previously, this is a supinator muscle, and it kind of crosses over to the other side of the pronator teres. So we can see the pronator teres much better on the other view. You can kind of see the supinator, but you can see it much better here. Supinator, abductor pollicis longus, extensor pollicis brevis, and that's about it. Over here, extensor digitorum, extensor digiti minimi, brachioradialis, and I think this is the extensor carpi radialis longus here, and you can see the brevis a little bit over here, but it's really hard to see. I'll show you guys a better picture of it, or I'll get a couple models from downtown to show it to you there. The last muscle right here is the most medial. This is your extensor carpi ulnaris muscle. The extensor ulnaris is lateral, actually is medial to the extensor digiti minimi. So it's just outside of the extensor digiti minimi over here. Now, when we look at the next one, we're going to look at the posterior of your shoulder and the arm.